and my fellow Americans. How we all doing tonight? Um, I, as you can tell from the title, well, this isn't going to be a politically charged stream necessarily, but I just wanted to at least kind of touch base on this whole thing, and like, I mean, I'm seeing all kinds of things online and stuff like that. You know what I mean? One moment, please. But like, there's just so much misinformation out there about Charlie and stuff like that. And then there's also, people who are like, oh, well, what about this statement? What about X statement? What about Y statement? Listen, I'm not sitting here speaking, from where I'm speaking from, trying to defend his fucking statements. I'm trying to defend his character. There's a stark difference there. I'm in no way, shape, or form trying to pretend or act like Charlie Kirk is a perfect person by any means. I'm not saying that, and I'm also not saying that maybe he hasn't ever said anything racist or like anything concerning. I'm not saying that either, right? But the same people who are like, oh, well, you said this thing that's racist, and you said this thing. Okay, most of the time, the whole black pilot thing, that's not something racist. That's just saying that these airlines are doing DEI hires to where it's not necessarily people who are the most qualified to be operating machinery of that level. It's more so for the public image and just to have the brand itself look good. They may not have been through the most rigorous training in the world or the most, qualifying amount of training or what have you. And it's just like, that's what he's saying when it comes to that. That's not racist. That's just saying I fear for my own life because maybe this pilot isn't as qualified as they should be to pilot this aircraft to operate this level of machinery and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, man. I just, and again, I'm not trying to say that he's never said anything racist. I'm not trying to defend his statements. I'm defending his character. I'm standing up for his character and what he believed and stood up in. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm defending. I'm not defending his statements because if you defend a person's statements, you're always going to lose because everyone at some point has always said something that they shouldn't have said. And if you're going to sit here and point out these statements out of context and say, oh, he's a racist, I mean, have you ever said anything racist? I'm pretty sure that every American has said something racist at some point, right? So, like, you can't just, you know, sit here and say that and then point fingers when you haven't even looked in the mirror. Or looked in the mirror. I'm sorry, looking in the mirror. Jesus Christ. Looked in the mirror. The hypocrisy is just, it's astounding. Genuinely astounding. Anyway, Charlie, this is for you, my friend. I'm going to actually kind of put together a little video for Charlie. I'm going to write it, like write ideas down and stuff like that about things I want to talk about. And I'm probably going to have a friend or two help me out with that. But yeah, I stand with Charlie Kirk and I stand with America. That's my stance. Yeah. And I'm not sorry for it. I'm not sorry for that stance at all. It's just like Charlie said, he doesn't believe in respect or disrespect. He believes in what's right and what's not right. And there's nothing wrong with that. What's up, man? Absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I mean, you know, like the things that Charlie advocating for free speech as much as he did, and like stuff like that, is the entire reason why, to an extent, that I'm able to sit here and live stream this video to you right now. You know, I mean, of course, there's a YouTube TOS and stuff like that. I have to stay within that TOS, but that TOS doesn't include saying the things I'm saying right now. So, um, but it's so disheartening and it's so heartbreaking when you have so many Americans just celebrating the death of this person who is like, he stood up for what he believed in, and like here's the thing, right? You don't have to agree with him. You can still disagree with him, but like also respect him and not like, I don't know, man. I don't think there's anything that I can say to the left to change their minds. You know what I mean? Like I'm kind of done. I'm kind of past doing that at this point. I'm kind of done doing that. So this is more so saying, hey, you know what I mean? Like if you support Charlie Kirk, my channel is a safe place for you. That's all I'm trying to say, right? That's what I want to say, and that's what I'm going to address when I make the little video for him that I do, because I am going to make a video for him. It will still be on this game, of course, but
Magisters are probably humanity's real hope, don't you think?
alright. We need more brains. Yes, sir. Okay, so I'm up to 4 now. But yeah, it's just, I just wanted to talk about this. I mean, this has kind of been weighing on me a little bit, you know. Um, but I stand with Charlie. I love Charlie. I love what he stood for. I love what he advocated for. I love that he went for intelligent dialogue, and you know, like most of the time he was respectful when people came to him. And you know, like that people want to show this clip of him like disrespecting this vegan. Listen, I mean, brother, if you come up and say, I think that killing animals is immoral, and you understand that the person you're speaking to is front to back, you know, dead to rights, using the Bible as, you know, his moral background, you should expect to get laughed at. I'm sorry, but like, yeah, Moses saved the animals in the Bible, but like, brother, you're you're throwing, you know, a pail of water into the ocean at that point, right? Like, it's a moot point. I listen, if you're from the left and you're somehow watching this, we can at least agree to disagree. We don't have to do these inhumane things, post these videos, and I'm not saying it's the entire left, but like the like, I've seen the fucking videos, dude. Like, I don't know. Anyway, Charlie, if you're looking down, I want to thank you. I know you're up there in heaven. I know you're up there with my passed away family members. And all I ask is that, you know, you watch over my loved ones who have passed away until I get there, please. I know you have your own loved ones who have passed away as well. But I want to thank you for standing up for America, for giving a voice to the voiceless, and for, you know, standing up on the beliefs that you did and standing up for what originally did make this country great. And I don't understand how people can you know, sit here and say all these vile and disgusting things about him. And here's the thing, I'm not saying he's perfect. No one's fucking perfect. I've said racist things, okay? I'll admit it. I've said racist things. Everyone has said something racist at some point in their lives, but you can't just cherry pick these statements, especially the ones like and take them out of context and just say, you know, that he's a bad person or that he's racist, because he's not. Like, if you watch any of his fucking videos and you sit there and you actually listen to what he's saying and what the other person is saying, you'll realize that 9 times out of 10 he's being completely respectful. And like I said, like, that vegan had what was coming, man. Like, you can't talk to a born again Christian who believes the Bible front to back and, you know, proclaim that animals are killing animals is immoral, because it just doesn't work. That was on the presenter in that debate, and that wasn't on Charlie. But regardless, I mean, he could have handled it better, absolutely. But I wouldn't have handled it better. I'll be the first to tell you, I would have laughed at him too. But like, just these people, I don't understand how anyone can celebrate that death. Like, if he was actually a horrible person, absolutely, I get it. You know what I mean? Like an abuser, someone who was like openly racist, who openly spoke out against things that like actually hurt people. Yeah, I get it, but I don't get this. And I especially can't stand beside these people as an American and say that I can side with them. I used to be center, right? And then I kind of got roped into the left unknowingly with BLM and stuff like that, and you know, their bullshit rhetoric, lives shouldn't be political or whatever it was, and they fed me lies. And so without knowing it, I was a fucking Democrat. I was democratic without even knowing it, and I think that's awful. And I don't think that's necessary. I mean, that is my fault, but it's also their fault for just pushing that narrative. And then I had actual close friends who were like, if you didn't agree with me, we couldn't be friends anymore. And that broke my heart, because I really liked having her as a friend. And so I was like, I mean, I was in agreement with her too, though. That's the thing. And then I said something that could have been construed as I wasn't, or something like that. But these riots and the violence that had ensued is non-American. It's unbecoming. That's why I don't want to have to pick a side. I never wanted to have to pick a side. You know, I was always wanted to stand with people, like stand with human rights and stuff like that. And that's why I was pro BLM and all this stuff. You know, because I believe in justice at the end of the fucking day. And these things that are happening right now are unjust. They are unjust. And none of my heroes would go for it, and I sure as fuck won't go for it. That's all I gotta say. And you know what's funny? I have a really good friend of mine. He's been Republican the entire time I've known him. He's in his 40s. And every time we disagreed on something, he was mostly respectful and stuff like that. And he never once threatened. He never once threatened to cut me off or shoo me away or anything like that just because I had different beliefs than him. We simply conversated about it. We talked about it, you know? But you see that so much on the left. And I don't understand it. I mean, maybe it is a cult. I don't like using that word though. I don't fucking like using that word for anything really. I don't know. I just don't know. Oh. Oh wait. And like, here's the thing. Like, you can be on the left and you can respectfully disagree as much as, and I'm not saying if you're on, I don't know anyone's political affiliations, but I cannot excuse these actions that I'm saying at all. I can't. I can't. Look at Superman. Look at Spider-Man. Look at Batman. You know, I mean, there's the now talk meme from Batman where it's like his fucking, you know, the criminal's like 30 broken bones or whatever. But you look at all these comic book heroes, and fuck, I mean, even anime characters, right? Like, they prefer to talk about it before they fight. Especially Superman and I. And did you know that Superman identifies as a Republican? That's true. Superman identifies as a Republican in the comics. I mean, I think that's no matter what the shooter's affiliation was, I think it speaks volumes to the country that we live in that he was just shot in the middle of his. We live in a country where censorship is more popular than speaking the truth. And not to be corny here, but I believe in truth, but I'm also a big fan of justice. Yeah, exactly. Oh. Charlie just wanted to give people a voice. That's all he wanted to do, and he just wanted to stand up for what he believed was right. And a lot of what he believes is right, I also believe is right. I'll say it. I have no shame in saying that. Just like these people have no shame in... I cannot believe that I share a country with these people. I mean, thank you guys for not judging me for crying my fucking eyes out about this, man. Oh, I haven't... I don't remember the last time I've cried like this, man. It's been a while. It's been a while. Charlie is part of the reason I'm able to sit here and play this game right now. You know, the legacy he's leaving behind, I don't think the people who hate him, I don't think they realize just how much of an impact that he had on everybody. And like, I mean, the thing that really turned me towards this, and I'm going to link this in the video that I kind of make for him in the description and in a pinned comment, but it was a gay black man. That should tell you everything you need to know when it comes to, like, I don't get how people can say he's a racist and he's homophobic and all these things. I'm gonna change to something. You know, this is for Charlie, and let me see here. We'll put this on. This is much more appropriate. I hate that I even have to, you know, stand against these people and their disgusting behavior, but I do. Yeah, exactly. And like I said, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not here to defend his statements, I'm here to defend his character. That's what a lot of people confuse statement with character all the time. And that's just not how it is. And like I said, man, every American has said something racist at one point. So if you really want to sit here and cherry pick statements and take them out of context and stuff like that, even if it does sound racist, right? Because there was a couple of things that I read. I mean, I don't know if they were actually said by him, because it was just text on an image of Charlie. So I take it with a grain of salt, right? But there were actually a couple of things where I was like, you know what I mean? Like, why would he actually say that? But it's like, okay, even if he did, he didn't use the N-word, he didn't use any slurs or anything like that. How does that excuse berating him? How does that excuse celebrating his death? How does that excuse any of this disgusting, unbecoming behavior in the slightest? And like I said, every American at some point has said something racist. So if you really want to cherry pick these things, you're a fucking hypocrite. Okay? Just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah. I mean, but here's the thing, right? It's like the context matters very little. Yeah, I do too. The context matters very little when it comes to this, though, because as I said, like it's still hypocrisy to sit here and say, "Oh, I don't like him because of X or Y." It's blatant fucking hypocrisy. So they've already lost from that. I don't even need to argue back any further than this. You know, and like, and when I'm sitting here, and I just had someone, it's ironically another TFD player, someone, I had a discussion with him, so to speak. It was more so one-sided. I was listening to him, but he wasn't listening to me. And I was like, here's a video of a gay black man defending Charlie Kirk, right? And the person I was discussing it with is a black man. And all he did was he completely ignored that. He just said, here's some more context for you, and just posted another text with another image with some more text on it. And that's all he did. He didn't cite his sources. He didn't, you know, drop video evidence, in which I've seen the one where it's like, you know, he doesn't want a black pilot. But people want to just take that, just that singular statement. If there's a black pilot, I sure hope he's qualified, and just say, oh, racist, racist, racist. It's like, no. You do realize that DEI hires are a thing. You do realize that, you know, that happens, and that when that does happen, that they do not undergo the same amount of training. You do realize that the same can be said for getting into college, SAT scores and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. And gay people do too. Right, but that 2% is still, it's still a lot of people, you know. People want to, it's just like, it's just like people who claim that most cops are bad. I watched a video yesterday, and it was like 70 out of 700,000 is still a lot of people, and he's absolutely right. You know. That was the cop's point. That was the cop's argument, right? Because he was debating with criminals and stuff like that. But yeah, so, and I'm not trying to sit here. I don't know all the facts. I don't know everything, right? I'm not trying to say that black pilots are unqualified as a whole or anything like that or what have you. What I'm trying to say is that there is validity in the concern that you would have if you boarded a plane and you had a black pilot, because of the high likelihood that they were a DEI hire. I love that. I will. Yeah, experience and wisdom. And then, there was this girl, right? This is a prime example of Charlie's character. Charlie knew she had nothing of substance to say. You know what I mean? And maybe it was, I mean, honestly, if it was to make fun of her, hey man, I don't fucking blame him at all. But there's this video of this college student, this female, and she was like, "Can you let me talk? Like, you keep interrupting me, blah 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 blah." And here's the thing, right? Is like Charlie only interrupts you when he knows that you don't have something of substance to add, or you're resorting to something that doesn't relate to what he's trying to present or like trying to discuss, right? But he let her talk, and then, but the funniest thing about it was like even after he put his microphone, he rested his microphone in his hand on his lap, and for like the entire time, basically, she was still like, "Are you gonna let me talk? Are you gonna let me talk?" She kept repeating it over and over and over and over again, and then finally, like, security or whoever, they just kicked her off the mic. Charlie didn't even ask them to do that, but I think they understood just as well as he did that she didn't have anything of substance to say, and that she just wanted to, I don't know, have like a little bit of power in that or something like that. I don't know.
If it's new research, I'm listening.
Yeah, yeah, yes. And the only time he was rude, like I mean, he's a human being, you know what I mean? He's not a fucking robot. He's not gonna just attend and participate in every single debate and not be rude at points. He's a human being. Everyone has their limits. Like, I just, people are so quick to criticize and point fingers and stuff like that. It's blatant hypocrisy all around. Have you ever had an argument and you've gotten mad at somebody? Okay,
The special human
there you go.
What do you need?
There you go, right there. Yeah, I have. I've about 10 times in my life, not enough times, but about 5 to 10 times I've seen The Dark Knight. I like to watch the Dark Knight trilogy every few years. Yeah. Yeah. And it's and it was what Alfred was saying too. Some men just want to watch the world burn, and I mean the world is burning right now, and the depraved individuals, and I'm not saying the left as a whole. Once again, the depraved individuals on the left are watching it, and that's what they want. No, yeah, you're good, man. I actions speak louder than words, right? And the left is screaming right now. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like this. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I'm no stranger to the world being genuinely, positively, downright disgusting. At all. But I've never seen this before. Ever. Oh, I'm glad I don't live on TikTok because my mental health would be going down the drain right now. I do have a TikTok, but I don't mess with that shit, man. Democrats do, though. Yep, they certainly will. And here's the thing, I don't want to be divided. I don't want to have to feel these things, but god damn the cake. But when you the ex excusing and saying, not saying these things are okay, but like saying, okay, I can stand next to you, goes against everything I believe in. It goes against everything I believe in. And I have to stand with my morals. I have to stand with my principles, my beliefs. I have to. I have to. So no, I cannot stand beside my fellow American right now. I can't. I have to stand where it's safe. And I have to give those a space to be safe as well. You know? That's why I'm going to make my little video, and it's probably going to be titled, "This is a safe space for those who loved Charlie Kirk," you know? That's what I want to do. And anyone who says anything about Charlie will be outright just fucking banned. From my live streams, from my videos, whatever. They're gone. No tolerance. I've always wanted to give people a voice who didn't have one. Always. Even before, long before I knew about Charlie. Years before I even knew about him, right? So, yeah. So for me, this is more personal than it seems. But I won't let them win. This doesn't keep me up at night, you know what I mean? It doesn't cause me to lose any sleep or anything like that. But it's just, it's the elephant in the fucking room. Hell, it's the goddamn, what is it? The Bronchosaurus? Bronchiosaurus in the room. It's bigger than a fucking elephant, man. The Bronchiosaurus in the room. I stand with God too. Especially after this, man. And God bless you guys too, man, for real. Sorry I'm not playing the game right now. I don't know, I have to talk about this. This is my platform, you know, so I have to talk about it. I have to, and I can play the game anytime, right? You can play the game anytime. But if my tomorrow isn't guaranteed, I'd rather use this time right now to talk about my beliefs and to stand together with the people in my chat right now and, you know, just have a calm discussion about this. Charlie is in heaven. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. "100% my American brother, my brother in Christ, is in heaven." You know what the beautiful thing about this is, though? And there's, I'm not, I wish he was still here. I wish I had the opportunity, because this is the first post I had said about him. I was like, I would have loved to sit down and just had a conversation with you and learned a thing or two. That's what I said. You know, I wasn't saying, because I would have learned things from him. I'm not as educated as he was. Not even close, man. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm, you know what I mean? Like, I'm more life smart than educated smart, but after recent events, I'm definitely picking up on my political education a little bit and stuff like that. Um, but the beautiful thing is to see all of the supporters. It's just like when Toriyama passed away, honestly. Deja vu, man. Because America mourned when Toriyama passed too. I mourned. And I'm mourning now. And I think it's just amazing to see all of his supporters come together in unity and stand up for what they believe in and, you know, speak out against the unjust.
Warning. Large-scale dimensional breach in progress. Colossus arrival imminent. Due to physical interference. Activating Colossus guided capture zones. Initiating ground interception response system. All available combat personnel and descendants, please proceed to the Colossus guided capture zones.
Because I want my channel to be a safe space for people who support Charlie and for people who berate Charlie to not be welcomed here. That's why. And because this is my platform, and yes, it is not gaming related at all, but he would have wanted me to use my platform to stand up for what I believe in and to have a conversation about it, which is what I'm doing right now. That's why. Thank you for asking that question, though. That's a good question. And also, Ohayou gozaimasu. I'm sure it's morning in Japan. And I thank you for stopping by my stream. And also because I love Superman and Superman's a Republican. So. But that's not nearly as related.
If there's something you need, you'll need to pay.
All right. I think I'm going to get off of here and eat something though. You know, relax and watch some YouTube, try to take my mind off of this. I appreciate all of you. And there's hope for the future. I'll be back though. I'll be back in a couple of hours. Nox, I will message you on Discord. And Greg, if you're on, we can play, brother. Alrighty, guys. I will catch you on the flip side in a couple hours. I promise.